Hi, this video is going to be a quick introduction to fingering notes on our D string and on our A string on the cello. So the first thing you need to know is the musical alphabet, and that is starting with the alphabet letter A. A. When we go higher, when the notes get higher up in pitch, we go forward in the alphabet. So it goes like, for example, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then we can keep going, but we don't go on to H here. The next note higher is actually A again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then we're going to keep on going up, another A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. And on the cello, you can actually get even higher. So that's a super high A there on the cello. How many was that? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was 5 A's on the cello. By the way, when you count them, there's 7 alphabet letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then we get to the 8th one, it's A again. And that's called an octave because it's the 8th note. And to us, like here's a low A, here's a high A. Those notes sort of fold into each other. They fit together somehow. So we just call them both A's, even though one sounds lower and the other one sounds higher. So that's the musical alphabet. Once you know that and you're really comfortable with that, make sure you can also go backwards. So here it is going backwards. I'll just kind of say it. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. Then we go down more. G, F, E, D, C, B, A. So make sure you know that musical alphabet up and down. And I was playing on the cello, but I wasn't doing that to show you where the notes were. I was just doing it to show you how they sound and how they go up and down. After you know your musical alphabet, we need to make sure that we know our finger numbers. So I call this the thumb. And if you play piano, this of course is not the thumb in piano. So we need to form kind of a new brain for cello playing if you're already a piano player. So thumb, and then the first finger is the index finger. So index is 1, middle finger is 2, ring finger is 3, and pinky is 4. So we'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4. All right, so now that we know our fingers, we need to know where they go. If you're a student cello player, hopefully your teacher has put some tapes onto the fingerboard for you. This is my favorite nice cello that I have, and I don't want to put tapes on it because I don't want to gum up my fingerboard. But if you can imagine, or look at your own cello, there should be 3 tapes kind of sitting there laid out. And the first tape is the one that's closest to the pegs. And I'll just show you, I'll show you where they are, except you just have to imagine mine has them. So first tape's going to be right here. It's the closest one to the pegs. Then we go up for the second tape, the second tape. Then we go up for the third tape. So there's 3 tapes. And when we put our fingers down, the first finger goes on the first tape. Now, the next tape is played, we put our second finger and our third finger down together. So think of them like they're friends and they're going together. So first finger is the brave one that goes out first. Then 2 and 3 like to be partners. They like to work in partners. They go down together. And so your third finger is going to end up being on that second tape. And then finally the pinky is last on the third tape. So we'll do that again. First finger, second, third finger together, and then pinky. By the way, your arm angle is really important when you do this. Imagine that you're eating a sandwich. Most people don't eat sandwiches like this, but they eat sandwiches like this with the thumb relaxed. And most people are very relaxed when they eat, right? So we're eating a sandwich, and we're going to bring that sandwich shape to the cello. One thing I do for my students that are beginning is put a little pad there for their thumb, so you know where your thumb goes. If you don't have a pad and you're watching this video, just know that your thumb goes behind the second finger, and it should be relaxed. So your thumb shouldn't be like tense like this, and it shouldn't be straight like this, but it should be a relaxed thumb. That allows your fingers to move freely. So now we're going to go ahead and find our notes. In order to find your notes, you need to know 4 things. You need to know which string you're playing on. You need to know which finger you're going to use. You need to know the spot of where it goes. And finally, the last thing you really need to know is the most important thing, and that's how it sounds. And of course, I guess you could say there's a 5th thing. You need to know the name of the note too. So 5 things. Maybe there's some more things we need to know too, but for now we'll just keep the list down to 5. So here we go. We're on the A string first. We're going to find our A string notes. You can refer back to my ant song video where I show you the ant song, which is designed to help you find the string. Ants, 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 digging in the dirt, 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 going underground, ground, ground, looking for some cookies, cookies, cookies. So A is for ants. So our A string is that top string there. All right, so play your A string, echo me. I'll play and then you play. Again. Now we're going to put our first finger down on the A string. First finger, and make sure that you're using your fingertip, so your hand is nice and round and your fingers are round and not flat. So here's the first finger. Now open A again, no fingers. Now first finger. Now open A one more time. Alright, so that's the first finger note. Now we're going to find the second tape, which is our 3rd finger note. So now play that note. Here it is. See if it matches mine. Again. Now we're going to work up to it from open A. First finger now. Now put 2 and 3 down. And then finally, we need to get our 3rd tape with our pinky. One thing that a lot of students ask at this point is, should I lift these fingers up when I'm not using them or keep them down? And if you're a complete beginner, go ahead and just keep those down. Later on when you get more advanced, they do come up in professional playing, but for now, you can keep them down just to keep everything set. So here is the 4th finger on the 3rd tape. Echo again. And some people find that it's hard to get that 4th finger to push the string all the way down, and it helps if it's very curved and you're on the tiptoe fingertips, because that helps you push it down with more force, with less work. We want everything to feel easy. So let's go up the whole A string, all those notes now. Open A. Now first finger. Now 2 and 3 down together. And now 4th finger. And now let's go down. Play 4th finger again. Now lift the 4th finger, so we have 3. Now lift 3, and we have 1. And then open, no fingers. You might be wondering, what's that 2nd finger going to do? Are we ever going to use the 2nd finger? And we will eventually, but right now we just want 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So we need to know what those note names are. So let's refer back to our musical alphabet. We had A. 1 note higher than A is a B. So play B now. Go back down to A. And now we're going to go to B again. So now think, okay, what's this next note going to be? Or not B, that is. It's a C. And it's actually a C sharp because it's a little bit higher than a regular C. That's what the sharp means. So here's C sharp, 3 fingers on the A string. Do it again. And then finally, what's after C sharp or C in the alphabet? It's D. So we have a D right here with our 4th finger. Play D, echo me. There it is. And I call this one high D. Sometimes at this point, students will ask me, wait a second, I thought this was D. this second string here, and that is also a D, but remember, we have octaves. So if we go up from D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we get to the octave. It's also called a D, just like we were saying earlier with our A's. So I call this one high D, 4 on the D string, and I call this open D. So in the beginning, when we're playing songs that maybe have both of those notes, and I'm telling you what notes those are, that's how you know. So let's go through those notes again. This time I'm gonna give you finger numbers and alphabet notes, alphabet names going up. So here's open A. First finger B. Third finger C sharp. Fourth finger high D. Now we'll go down. High D, fourth finger. C sharp, third finger. B, first finger. Open A. If you're a cello player playing in a class, a group setting with violins or violas, just be careful that you don't start doing their fingerings, because they use first, second, and third finger, and cellos use first, third, and fourth finger. And ask yourself, what's the reason why? Why do you think we do that? Maybe comment below if you have the answer. Okay, let's do those notes now, but this time I will not give you the fingering number. I'm just going to give you the alphabet name. So here's A. B. C sharp. And high D. High D again. C sharp. And B. And A. Now I'm going to give you those notes in a mixed up order. And this is something you can also quiz yourself on, or have a friend come quiz you and give you note names. And you might want to write them all down too. So here's open A. Now we're going to do C sharp. Now we're going to do high D. And now we're going to do B. C sharp. Open A. High D. Open A. All right. So now we need to learn our D string notes. Same system, same thing. So we're going to find open D, no fingers. Now first finger on the D string. Now you know the spots. And think to yourself, what is that note? Here we go. And now 2 and 3 down on the D string. And think to yourself, what is that note? And now fourth finger on the D string, and ask yourself, what is that note? So let's do that again, just finger numbers, and you can think the notes to yourself, and then we'll do it with note names and finger numbers. So here it is again, open D. First finger. F sharp. I gave you the answer. Third finger on the D string, which is F sharp. And then fourth finger on the D string. Now I'm going to give you alphabet letters and finger numbers. So here's open D. First finger E. Third finger F sharp. And fourth finger G. Stay there, play that G again. Pick up, we'll do F sharp, 3. Pick up, first finger E. And now open D. Make sure you know all those notes up and down. Quiz yourself. Think through it when you're sitting in the car maybe, or if you're going on a walk. Just whatever you can do to get those in your head. Another thing you could do is draw out a string and put little lines down, just like your tapes, and write the names of the notes on it. So now I'm going to give you just the alphabet letters. So here's D. E. F sharp. G. G again. F sharp. E. And D. Now I'm going to mix up the order. So this is any note on the D string. It could be D, E, F sharp, or G, but not in the order because we've just been going up and down. So here's D, G, E, F sharp, D, E, F sharp, D. Alright, and if you need to take a break or pause it to make sure you really know it, or maybe that's enough and your brain is full for today, go ahead and pause it and come back and practice some more on another day. Right now I'm going to do mixed up order between the D and the A strings. Before I do though, I forgot to mention this G. A lot of students say, if that's G, what's this? I thought that was G. Well, this is open G, this string here, and this I call regular G, like regular gasoline. And it's the same thing again, they're just octaves apart, so we have two Gs. This fourth finger G is the one that you're most often going to be playing in songs at the beginning. If I want you to play open G, I will say open G. And if I just say G, that's going to be the regular G with the fourth finger note. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do a random, well it's not so random, a mixed up order of D string and A string notes. And I'm actually doing this in a rather predictable pattern. See if you can get what the pattern is. So we have D, A, now E, now B, F sharp, C sharp, G, and high D. Alright, did you figure out what the pattern was? I started with open strings, then I started with first finger notes, then I did third finger notes, then I did fourth finger notes. Notes that are across the string from each other. Okay, now this time I'm going to do a truly random pattern. I don't know what I'm going to play, we'll find out. Play B. Now play high D. Now play F sharp. Now play E. Now play G. Now play open D. Now play C sharp. Now play high D. Now play A. Now play E. Now play B. And so on. So hopefully you can quiz yourself too and make random orders, maybe make up different patterns. You can figure out some interesting things that way. And then finally I'm going to do a song, and your challenge is guess what song this is. So here's open D, open A, B, open A, G, F sharp, E, open D. Alright, if you guessed Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, you are correct. That's Twinkle. Just a couple of notes. I do teach the D and the A strings because if you're in a mixed class with cellos and violas and violins, everybody can play songs in the same key, but just know that violins have that E string too, so eventually they'll learn some of those notes. And you might be wondering to yourself, what about the G string and the C string? So I'll give you a challenge. See if you can figure out, based on what we did with our D and A strings today, can you figure out on your own what those G string notes are on the tapes and the C string notes? Alright, that's all I've got for you today. Happy practicing.